Here are some NBA moments that I thought were pretty bizarre, and I'm pretty sure you guys would agree. If a particular moment made me say, well, that was weird, then it qualified for this video. Let's get into it. It was near the end of the third quarter in Game 5 of the 2010 Eastern Conference Finals between the Celtics and Magic, when everybody was ready to close out the quarter except Glenn Davis, who was too busy trying to keep his balance.
Davis slow to get up. I think Davis is, boy, he's struggling with his balance right now. He is shaken up big time.
Mike Breen had to come up with something quick and take a wild guess on what happened.
They're saying to bring out water, maybe dehydration. You hope it's only something so simple like that. Maybe he's dehydrated.
But no, it wasn't dehydration at all, because as you can see from this angle, Dwight Howard came down hard with his elbow, connecting directly with Glenn Davis's face. Doc Rivers didn't really seem to know what happened either, otherwise he wouldn't have yelled at him to get back on offense if he did.
I'm wobbling, I'm stumbling, and I hear Doc Rivers saying, "Get up, baby." I'm like, I can't move. Like, my mind is here, but my body is just wobbly. My legs feel like jello. I'm slipping on the floor.
What's scary is sometimes an elbow to the face is not even needed in order to almost lose consciousness. It can happen at random. Just ask Atlanta Hawks announcer Bob Rathbun.
Now we have an on-air scare when Atlanta Hawks announcer Bob Rathbun suffered a medical emergency live.
And the video of this incident is really very scary. We are only comfortable showing it to you because we know he should be okay.
Keep your eyes on sportscaster Bob Rathbun. The play-by-play announcer for the Atlanta Hawks basketball team slumps in his chair, then starts convulsing while his co-anchor keeps going, unaware of the emergency.
The statement also says Rathbun is now stable and responsive.
Which takes us to probably the most bizarre example of something like this, the time Carmelo Anthony suddenly collapsed out of nowhere. Now it looks like what caused him to go down like that boils down to only one of two things. Either he was pouting like a spoiled little brat for not getting the call, or something serious really did happen to him. Carmelo insists he wasn't faking it. "I tried to go left and I think I hit Kevin Durant's hip," Anthony said. "When I first fell, I was conscious, but then I was out cold. I don't remember anything else other than waking up and seeing a lot of people around me." Okay, we can debate all day about whether Carmelo was telling the truth or he was just putting on an act, but perhaps the most head-scratching part of it all is why did everyone continue to play as if nothing even happened? Nobody seemed to care about the fact that Carmelo was motionless on the ground. Even the referees couldn't have cared less. This seemed to be the most disturbing part to a lot of people, and I would have to agree, especially how J.R. Smith just went right past him, not really concerned about Anthony at all, and even seems to blame Anthony for causing him to travel. Those who watched the whole thing unfold were stunned. "I couldn't believe JR would try to go for the layup," said Chauncey Billups, who was on the bench at the time. "I was like, dude, are you serious? Call timeout, man. You see the dude ain't move. What in the world are you thinking about?" And that's exactly the same question we were asking ourselves when Corey Maggette did this.
Number one, my main man Corey Maggette is shaving. Yeah, he's shaving. I might have to investigate that play.
It would be one thing if it was a situation like this, thinking somebody in the corner was your teammate when it wasn't, but Maggette had all day to realize it wasn't his teammate, but passed him the ball anyways. And Kemba Walker's reaction was priceless. I guess we just have to go with this explanation. Another pass that had people a little confused was when Kevin Durant handed the ball to Dallas's head coach Rick Carlisle before the game officially ended.
I think Kevin Durant handed the ball to Rick Carlisle, not knowing there was still 7 seconds. A bizarre finish.
Well, at least KD made it easy for Rick Carlisle to get his hands on the game ball, unlike Giannis.
There is Giannis.
Giannis going to the locker room.
Going into the locker room.
Don't ruin a great evening.
Back in 2003, in a game between the Magic and Blazers, something so annoying happened that I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to fast forward this part.
Rubin blocked a shot clock violation against the Blazers. In Orlando, buzzer.
Shot clock.
Yeah, shot clock stuck. Unplug it.
As annoying as that was, it's still probably more pleasant sounding than hearing track and field athlete Carl Lewis attempting to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see? And the Rockets, red flag. Uh-oh. I'll make go for it now.
That was Sarge National Anthem. Written by Prince.
While your ears might be bleeding by now, it looks like Brandon Ingram might have made Jose Alvarado's shoulder bleed after biting him when they were sitting on the bench for some reason, a bite that made him grimace in pain. I saw some people saying that the reason Ingram bit him was because Alvarado pushed him away, so he bit him as a response to being pushed away, which makes me wonder what Ingram was initially trying to accomplish before the bite. I guess we'll never know, or do we even want to know? I don't know what's worse, someone randomly biting you or taking a ball that was kicked right to the face.
And see the ball come back to Paul, and he tries to kick it into the stands, and you can see right away it hit a fan over here, and the official was looking right at him.
It hit a fan in the face. He kicked the ball, and it hit a fan in the face. Paul is out. He's gone.
And he immediately went and apologized to the fan, but if he's thrown out, he's got to leave.
No, he's gone. He's got to get off the bench.
George said afterwards that he swears it was an accident and that he meant to kick the ball against the mat. Whether you believe him or not, it's crystal clear that Tracy McGrady deliberately kicks the ball into the stands, multiple times actually.
And Tracy kicks the ball and is immediately slapped by Derek Richardson with the technical. When the ball is thrown back, he goes and gets it again and kicks it, and Howard even can't save him from himself.
Kevin Durant took out his frustration in a similar fashion one time.
Block underneath. Durant is fouled by McConnell, and Durant just chucked the ball into the stands. It's a technical.
Kevin Durant is fouled by McConnell, and can't do that.
Nobody knows if the ball ended up hitting anybody, but there was an incident where Kevin Durant actually did hit somebody, even if he didn't mean to.
And all of a sudden, I see him hit the ball up in the air. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's going into the stands. And it landed on somebody. You just see a bunch of people go surround the guy. And I saw an old man with a veteran's hat on. I'm like, oh, this ain't good.
Durant immediately apologized for essentially giving him a black eye, but I don't think this kid apologized for basically giving one to Shaq. He couldn't have cared less.
Received from Dennis Scott's son. Dennis Scott's son. Oh, whoa. Earlier tonight.
Slow motion. Look at the slow motion. Look at the face. Look at the shadow of the face.
We know that Joey Crawford had the urge to do the same thing to Tim Duncan back in 2007. Of course, there's times when referees get angry with players. We get that. But Crawford took it to a whole nother level.
A good old time on the bench in 2007. We never see Tim Duncan giggle. Wait, what? I got teed up for what? For laughing?
Duncan actually ended up getting ejected, all because he was laughing on the bench. But that's not all. Crawford made an offer to Duncan before he left the court. He looked at me and said, "Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight?" Duncan recalled. "If he wants to fight, we can fight. I don't have any problem with him, but we can do it if he wants to. I have no reason why in the middle of a game he would yell at me, 'Do you want to fight?'" Clearly, Crawford had problems, or I should say a short fuse, and the way he treated this mop boy is evident of that.
I thought he was going to throw the ball boy out. He didn't come over there quick enough. Look at him. Don't you know how much this beer costs? Can't leave this beer on the floor.
And he wants another ball boy now. He wants two more. Not good enough.
Booze from the Wells Fargo.
He's staring at him.
He's still looking at him.
Now don't get it twisted, refs get treated bad too, with people wanting to rip their heads off just as much, including coaches.
Jerry Sloan of the Jazz is suspended for 7 games for hitting or pushing referee Courtney Kirkland, and he got a shovel on Courtney Kirkland, ejected from the game. John Stockton and Phil Johnson had to walk him off the court.
You might think that was bold of Sloan for trying to fight a ref, but keep in mind he also tried to fight Dennis Rodman for going after John Stockton, which was even more ballsy of him.
That's Jerry Sloan now is letting Dennis Rodman know.
He said, "You want a piece of somebody, get me."
That's right.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I've ever seen a reporter find out if a player is playing right before a game quite like this, interrupting him mid-shoot-around.
I saw JaMychal Green warming up behind you. Any word yet on if he's able to go tonight? I think he was questionable coming into this game.
I'll ask him. Where'd he go?
Yeah, he was on the...
Hey, JaMychal, you playing? No, he's not playing.
In this clip, you essentially have 3 fails all in one play.
Wrong basket shot followed by a wrong
basket foul.
Wizards are supposed to be going to your right. Warriors supposed to be going to your right here. What's going on?
Oh, my goodness. The ref, too, because the ref called the foul. Right, he called the foul the wrong way. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Just recently, we saw Jalen Duren go for a ride on Walker Kessler's shoulders, which reminded me of the time Gerald Wallace went for a ride in Glenn Davis's arms. Big Baby looked like he was carrying a big baby, and was very reminiscent of an iconic scene.
Take me! Shoot, you have to tell me twice.